airBaltic is an interesting airline facing a set of very difficult situations. The Latvian airline exclusively operates the Airbus A220-300, which is a great aircraft. From Riga, they connected Northern and Western Europe to Russia, Belarus, and Ukraine. Well, obviously the war beginning in 2022 ruined those plans. Faced with crews and planes and fewer places to fly, airBaltic started wet leasing their planes out to other airlines. 11 of their 42 planes they leased out to Eurowings, Eurowings Discover, Swiss, and SAS. Of course, then their remaining A220s ran into issues with delays in replacement parts for their engines, so airBaltic themselves needed to wet lease aircraft.
Ironic.
So this is going to be a rather strange flight review. I booked an SAS Plus ticket from Barcelona to Oslo, but it was operated by airBaltic. The service and experience is thus going to be a hybrid of the two, and I'll do my best to clarify what belongs to which airline. SAS Plus is SAS's European-style business class with lounge access, flexible tickets, and a meal. I've covered it before, and I'll go into much more detail in the next video, but the important thing is that unlike European business class, they don't block seats at all. Anyway, where was I?
Oh, that's right. Barcelona.
I arrived at Terminal 1 and checked in. The SAS counter was in the far end with some real fossils. SAS has some pretty strict baggage policies, and I was definitely a bit over on my rollerboard, but smiling and asking nicely never hurt, and the agent didn't make me check my carry-on bag. The official limit is 8 kilograms, and I was likely pushing 13. The SAS agent said that there was no lounge access and that, quotes, the lounge was closed. Yeah, that's BS. SAS, in an effort to cut costs, doesn't pay for lounge access anywhere that's not their own lounge, i.e. outside of Scandinavia. Fortunately, Barcelona has some great Sala VIP lounges that can be accessed with Priority Pass. I reviewed the Sala VIP Juan Miró before on a Vueling flight, so today I went to the Pau Casals lounge instead. It's just as nice, with a ton of seating, lots of good food and drink, and it was nice and quiet at this hour. I headed to the gate just as my airBaltic A220 arrived. Boarding time came and went, and despite an announcement and lining up, nothing happened. The gate agents were very confused as well, constantly looking down the jet bridge or calling the crew up. When a passenger asked what was going on, they were met with a shrug. We boarded 28 minutes late. But were still halted just outside of the aircraft as they needed to move the SAS Plus divider. The A220-300 layout is in a 2-3. I mistakenly sat on the right side because I'm an idiot. Legroom was quite good, with 2 small pouches for phones, I guess. Unlike Delta's offering, there are no charging ports, no in-seat entertainment, and no Wi-Fi. Despite the late boarding was complete 5 minutes prior to scheduled departure, and we pushed back right on time. While there's no personal TV screens, the safety video played on the teeny tiny screens near the air vents. The safety video was really bland and lacked any sort of character, which is a shame for an airline so tied with the country of Latvia, which I assume is fascinating.
Well, I went to Latvia, because nobody actually ever goes there. I mean, who the hell does? Seriously, name one person that you know who went to Latvia. I will wait.
We taxied to the runway. Cabin lights were not really fully dimmed. We took off to the southwest. Flying time to Oslo was 3 hours and 5 minutes at 36,000 feet. The full lights came back on and the seatbelt sign came off very quickly, which made it very hard to film what was a lovely sunset. While airBaltic has their own meals and service for business class, as this was an SAS flight, the catering was done by SAS. There is no choice, and we were served a roast beef box with potato salad, cabbage, and beetroot miso cream, all served cold. Again, I'll talk more about it in the next video, but props to the SAS catering for making something so colorful, culinarily exciting, and actually tasty. For a drink, I got the side-eye APA. The crew was fine. Not friendly, not mean, just cold and dispassionate. After the meal, they disappeared for the rest of the 3-hour flight, until just before landing. There was no other service or drink refills on offer on the 3-hour flight. We flew over France and got a view of what I think was Tours. The tiny screens displayed a moving map. Just prior to landing, we were served some chocolates. Even though it was 1:30 a.m., there was still quite a bit of light in Oslo as we came into land. So airBaltic wet leased to SAS. I love the A220, and for short European flights, it's great. It's in a 2-3 configuration, has large overhead bins, large lavatories, is quiet, and has good legroom. The lack of power and Wi-Fi is an issue though. Sure, most of the flights are short, but airBaltic operates some pretty long flights. Flights to the Azores or in Dubai clock in at close to 7 hours. In that case, yeah, it's a problem. The airline is also rather confused now, trying a host of different things to see what works. They plan to move several planes to a base in the Azores for the season, station a random single plane in Finland, plus all the wet leasing. So sure, you may not ever go to Latvia,
So if you plan to go to Riga, and I know you won't,
but airBaltic may end up popping up where you least expect it. Now it's 1:30 a.m. and I need to crash for a few hours, for tomorrow is a truly epic flight to the northernmost airport in the world.